Hello! Welcome to the Old Gen Gamers podcast, episode 4. I am the host, David Stratton. Joining me today, as always, James the Man Maver,
Good evening.
Toby, the epic
Greetings.
beard man Barstow.
Oh yes, the epic beard. You have to mention it.
I just want to touch that beard. I just want to
Carry on, David, before
run
you
my
get
fingers.
too.
Right,
Come on,
sorry.
come on.
And special guest today, Gamer for Life's very own David Pass. Welcome, sir.
How do?
I'm very well. And how are you guys today?
Very good.
Good. Right, before we get on to what we've been playing, I want to introduce Davey Pass a bit more. Davey or David? David. Dave then. Right. Right, David. You run a gaming website, gamerforlife.co.uk.
Yes, I do.
Why don't you tell the people a little bit about it? What do you cover?
Basically, Gamer for Life is a community website, community all over the internet. We do everything from articles, reviews, videos, unboxings, Twitch live streams, Twitter, Instagram coming out very soon, and much more.
Obviously, the Facebook page is where it all started, David.
Yeah, 4 years ago. Just over 4 years
years
ago, we started a page. What happened was I was in the middle of moving from a flat back to my mother's at the time, and as the joke always stands, it was meant to be for a laugh, and I was bored. And I just went, you know what, I'm going to make a Facebook page. You know what, I'm going to do it. And then it just went from there, and there we are today. That's what we've got. So, yeah,
a few years ago, Facebook pages, they were in quite a lot, weren't they? A lot of people were...
it was the big thing.
Yeah.
Before Facebook messed everything up, it was like there was pages for everything. It was just a real big social media mashup of talent and.
It was where people could go and just chat video games, wasn't it? Because
yeah.
I remember a lot of us used to talk on the Xbox UK gamer page. The Xbox, and that's got overtaken by trolls. Do you remember?
Yes, that page itself was actually the inspiration for me to make a page. Actually, we're looking for pages. Like, what could I call it? And that was the first one I came across.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? Yeah, this is cool. I'll start it up. So I did.
This is how me and David met, actually, because I had a similar page. It was kind of like rival pages, wasn't it, David?
Yeah.
I have my Video Game Nerds Facebook page. I got up to 2,000 likes on that, and we were kind of neck and neck for a while, but David's website and game page just completely took off, and mine didn't. So, well done.
Now you're
David.
stuck making YouTube.
Making podcasts. God, how low have you gone?
My hand is podcast business, and I'm trying to use David's page to get noticed. So yeah,
That's low.
That is low.
That's low. We're doing all right by ourselves. Our recent statistics have
To
proved
be
that.
fair, we've had some really good feedback. I mean, this is episode 4, and
The Halloween special.
we've got the Halloween special. We're going to do it
Ooh.
next week. Basically, we're going to discuss scary games and, the most scariest games we've ever played and atmospheric games.
Scary bad or scary?
Scary, everything, mate. Scary bad.
So Plumbers Don't Wear Ties can be classed as a scary game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scary games to the wallet, and we got a few of them coming up today, like Battlefront. We'll talk about that later. So, guys, what have you been playing in the last 7 days? Let's go to Maver first.
Yes. Can you guess what I've been playing, David?
Jaws?
No. I've moved from
Jaws 2?
No. Well, I wish I was, but no.
The Jaws trilogy.
The Jaws 7. No, I've moved from the petty 8-bit and joined the Sega Master Race, in 16-bit, and been playing a lot of
Glorious
Moonwalker.
16-bit.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, and I have to admit, it is one of the funnest games I've played in a while. Actually,
That was a solid game. I loved it.
I mean, with all the jokes about him, though, it is a bit weird watching him rescue little girls, but
Should have been little boys in hindsight.
oh god. But no, I mean, it fits the movie. It goes along well. It handles really good, and it is just fun to play.
What's the combat? I mean, I haven't really
Combat is good.
played it. Is it like what do you do? Kick people?
Yeah, you kick people and magic sparks come out your feet, but you do get these dance moves where you summon everything on the screen and you do this orchestrated dance move, and then they just all explode. It's really well done.
Do you cock slap anyone?
No.
Cox.
Sorry to your dreams down, but yeah.
Well, that's off my wish list. Is that all you've been playing, mate? I've seen you've been getting a few Steam achievements on a few games.
Oh, Retro City Rampage and Angry Video Game Nerd these games are absolutely brilliant. I love Retro City Rampage. Is just
And the good thing is, you can play on any machine, can't you?
oh yeah, you
Any
can play that.
machine will run it.
Even on my
Windows,
toaster, it works.
Windows 95 machine will probably run that game.
Well, they've made it for DOS now. They've actually got a digital actual copy you can hold
Wow.
for DOS. That is very good. So be sure to keep an eye out for that if you're ever in the area and you see one. Make sure to pick one up if you've got a computer still running MS DOS, because it's the most fun you can have for Windows 3.1.
It's probably more stable than Windows 10.
More stable than that flipping Xbox dashboard, but that's for later.
Yeah, you could have mentioned that later, and we could have segued onto that. But you're gone and screwed it up, Maver.
Oh, sorry, mate.
Toby, my man. Games, video games.
So I've been dabbling on and off with, funny enough, the Sega as well myself. Playing a lot of Alex Kidd for the last couple of days.
What, in Miracle World, or which one?
It is... In fact, I can click it up now.
Miracle World is the only one I really remember because I had it built into my Master System.
Yeah, this is the original, I think.
Is that when you
yeah, so...
punch people with a baseball glove?
Yeah, either way, I've been playing Alex Kidd. I've still doing other stuff with Final Fantasy, but the main one I've been playing that I'm really enjoying is Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yes, I'm so glad you managed to pick that up.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you that want to get it, it works great on PC. Get it on CD keys for 27 quid. You can't go wrong.
Can't.
But no, I'm, without obviously going into spoilers and stuff, I've not really even started scraping at the storyline yet. I'm just side missions all the way, getting all the upgrades and building as much as I can. The graphics are great. The gameplay is amazing. I'm really impressed with it. I didn't have high hopes for it, but I'm really glad I picked that up.
Well, did you play the other Metal Gear games?
I have. I mean, I'm one of those people that was never a huge fan of the series, yet I somehow still ended up playing all of them.
All the way through to the end, or was it just dabbling?
Yeah.
Dabbling. Yeah, did you? See,
Yeah.
I mean, I've played Metal Gear Solid on the PS1. Everyone
Same.
probably has, but I didn't finish it.
Neither did I.
I played Sons of Liberty for a little bit, didn't finish that, and then I played Ground Zeroes and thought that was good. And this one is
I
just
flipping paid for that and got really pissed off when I found out it wasn't Phantom Pain, because I didn't really understand how the whole Metal Gear thing. So when I saw trailers for Phantom Pain, I was like, oh, my stupid mind was like, oh, dude, that's awesome. So I paid 30 quid for it, and it just sort of,
It was a glorified demo, wasn't it?
The only thing I liked about the looks when it came to Phantom Pain was if you're a PlayStation 4 owner, their secret mission was Metal Gear Classic. And you did a Phantom Pain mission, but it looked like PlayStation 1 graphics.
I think that did come to Xbox One in the end, didn't it? I think they released that on the Xbox One as well.
I'm not sure what they did with next gen, because I know that
we had an exclusive mission as well. I think the PlayStation
360 was the Body Snatchers one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Where they had
Inclusion of the Body Snatchers.
Although I noticed in that every Body Snatcher NPC was the same character model. So even if you walked into a room and it's like, work out which one's the Body Snatcher. That one with the blue cap was it last time. I'm pretty sure it's him.
But yeah, Toby, I've also been playing. You know, we spoke last week. As you've got it, it gave me motivation to start it as well. And once I've started it, I've just been completely hooked. I absolutely love it.
The only flaws I've got with it so far are obviously playing it on PC. Graphics and everything are great, but from a programming point of view, the menus aren't optimized for mouse and keyboard. You can't use the mouse at all. You have to use the arrow keys.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit annoying. It's not game breaking, but it would be nice if the mouse would work.
It's just frustrating, yeah.
The only other issue I've got is they call it an interactive cinematic. You did 2 minutes worth of moving, but that intro took an hour and a half.
Oh, yeah. Should we get on to the intro? Cause...
Yeah, I mean, it was not needed.
Because an
hour and a half of crawling on your stomach.
That was just terrible. And then you climb up on this ledge and fall over again, and it's really slow and really.
I feel like it was because I've seen videos of it on YouTube. I feel like it was trying to add this sense of drama, but in all fairness, it just looked really boring.
It really was.
It was.
I mean, I got 20 minutes in and was like, okay, this is because it's not even a tutorial. They're not teaching you what to do. It's just
No,
keep
they're not.
crawling along this corridor, while certain
Crawling
things that
simulator.
Yeah,
I mean, again, I won't put any spoilers in there, but it's like certain things that shouldn't exist are now appearing, and I'm still crawling on my stomach for an hour. And yeah, it didn't need to be that long. The game is great,
It's like,
but
is it just hallucinations of Hideo Kojima's face with Hideo Kojima game? It's just that when he's crawling along.
yeah,
To
he
be
just
fair-
keeps whispering. You know, he just gently whispers to you, "No one needs Konami anymore."
if you can overlook that first hour or so,
Yeah, like
it's a great game.
the game is still worth its price tag. I mean, but that hour really does make you struggle to want to keep playing it once you've got through the intro.
Yeah,
But if you do, and you do a couple of side missions or whatever, you're stuck. You cannot put that game down.
that's where I was before you picked it up. I kind of done that, and I was like, ugh, I'm trying to motivate myself to go back to it, and I couldn't because of that. But as soon as you get out of that, it really does pick up. And the thing I love about it, I'm not very good at stealth games. I mean, I kind of like the recent Splinter Cell games because they moved away from the stealth. You remember the original Splinter Cell games? They're really heavy on stealth, like Chaos Theory, Pandora
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Pandora Tomorrow, yeah.
And the good thing is, I always go into a mission on Metal Gear with full intention to do it quietly.
You never do though.
And as soon as someone sees you, that's it. And the guards are really alert on that game. The AI really good. They can, especially in the daytime. If you try and do a mission in the daytime, you forget about it. Sneak in.
I quite like it when you're starting a mission at 6 a.m. and just by choosing the correct clothing to wear, adjusts how likely you are to be seen. And
Well,
stuff like that.
yeah, it looks really good in the AI. It is really nice to hear them reporting in, saying rather than I'm trying to think an old stealth game like Tenchu, for example. I mean, I know this is set in like feudal Japan; they didn't have radios, but if you lost sight of them, they would simply go, "Oh, what was that?" and then just walk back to their thing. With they're always on guard and they're always really tense and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go check it out, Zulu. If I don't report back in."
To give you a good comparison, I had in Skyrim, for example, I shot a guy in the face, and his friend right next to him was looking at him while he's got an arrow poking out of his face, going, "What was that? Oh, it must have been nothing." Whereas in Metal Gear Solid, I saw a little truck driving along, so I decided to blow the truck up because it had some enemies in it, and they didn't radio in, but just because an explosion happened, the camp that was stationed about a mile down the road actually sent a group out to come check it out, and then
like say you're up on a cliff, like stalking out the area with binoculars, you can actually see the horde of people run out from the base, can't you? Run to the explosion to check it out. That's incredible.
But I thought it was just brilliant though. Even if you're hiding from people, you're still basically screwed. Because if you take down that guy that's hunting for you, 3 minutes later, if you haven't made any advancement, they radio in like Zulu 1, are you there, Zulu 1? And if he doesn't respond, it's like, oh Christ, they're sending more people out.
Yeah, they put someone like an alert mode, doesn't it? But yeah, I'm a bit more into the story than you are, Toby, and I've just got quiet with one of the buddies. I can't say too much.
What you mean? You mean you got fan service?
Me gusta.
Yeah, just see that arse in your face when you both try and squeeze into the helicopter together, and the camera zoomed right in on their arse cheek.
Yeah, me complaining.
No. Come on, we're men, aren't we? And Kojima obviously knows what men like.
To be fair, though, it seems like I like obviously I like sex appeal in certain games where it's needed and that, but when they do it to that extreme, it's almost like a 15-year-old boy's come up with it.
Yeah,
you're like, you don't need that much. Put something in there to provoke your imagination, maybe, but to literally just be like, look at these tits, it's just
there's
like,
a whole scene where she plays in the rain, for God's sake.
Yeah, I've seen that on YouTube.
I just because it's funny, I prefer the version that someone's done when they got Ocelot to do it instead.
New model swapped them.
I want to watch that version more. To be fair though, Quiet, she doesn't need that because she doesn't speak, but she like hums, and just her presence and the skills she's got are terrific, and you'll see later on in the game. But she doesn't need that. It's kind of cheesy, and it kind of lets her down a bit. I think she's a good character on her own because what she brings, and Yeah, I think she didn't really need to be half naked, but hey, come on, we're not going to complain.
Nah, you made up like some stupid law thing as well, saying that she's got like ultra sensitive skin or something, and she needs like more water or something to live. I can't remember what his excuse was, but I was like, yeah, you just wanted to wear that outfit, don't you?
Yeah, it's
I mean,
just
again,
like
not complaining, not complaining.
let's just strip her down and make her wet all the time.
If there's not, there will be a PC mod where you can get her fully naked, right? I'm sure
Oh,
there's.
of course there is.
I'm
That
sure
happens
there's
on
one
almost
already.
almost any game you can think of that's on PC. Someone has either put a sex mod or a nudity mod, or
Yeah,
there's mods for all sorts in the dark corners.
but one of the best things in the short time I've been playing the game is I infiltrated this base and I called in my chopper right to the middle of the base, and everyone was still shooting me, and all you could hear coming from the distance was "Aha, take me on!" Just coming down, and you just jump in the helicopter with your machine gun, you're mowing all these enemies down, and just in the background you got "Take Me On" playing. And just,
So I have a
oh.
question. Can you put in your own music, or is it just selecting
No,
tracks?
it's a selected.
Oh, I want to put in like Sledgehammer by like
If
You
Peter
go around the
Gabriel.
game world and you find
if-
tapes. You find tapes.
If you get the PC version, someone has found out a way where you can mod the game file.
Oh,
and you can
yeah.
enter your own music
Of
in.
course. What would be your choice of song? Just as you're mowing all these enemies down with a machine.
Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel. That would be just brilliant, I think.
What about
I love
I
that.
reckon just because of how amazing it would be to see lots of people getting gunned down to Bowie and Jagger dancing in the street.
that could work? Or the hamster song. Toby, is that all you've been playing then? You've been strictly Metal Gear this week?
Yeah, pretty much. I recently, after talking about my PSP and how much of a scumbag I was for hacking it, I
Deep
wiped.
episode, wasn't it? That was a real deep.
Yeah, I wiped the storage and went legit with that one because I thought, I still hadn't touched it for a fair few years, so I cleaned off the drive and I've recently started playing a bit of Monster Hunter as well because that was a great
Yeah.
game.
I've heard a lot about that. It's not my cup of tea, but it's like, is it in the same vein as Final Fantasy, or is it?
No, you can either play it as a solo single player or you can have up to 4-player co-op. And it basically is the name. You go and hunt smaller monsters, collect materials from them, make better gear, go and fight bigger monsters until you're eventually fighting dragons and stuff like that.
Yeah. Sounds interesting. David, what have you been playing this last week?
This last week, well, especially since I'm a live streamer, I'd like to do a bit of variety in my mix.
Yeah.
But recently, it's been the free games with gold, the Dear God. I played
Oh
that.
yeah, I mean I downloaded it, but I haven't played it. Is that good?
It's an interesting game. It's definitely
It's a
something
2D
different.
side scroller, right?
Yeah, very pixelated side scrolling,
Yeah.
and ambient and all. Like it's like a platform where you got to keep jumping around, and
Yeah.
it can get a bit ragey, but you can't get ragey at that game because it was just so ambient, and it felt like you were in the film Bambi. Every time you died, you came back as a little calf.
And it was-
stuff. I know.
It was free. It was free as well, so that's always good.
Also, I've been playing Forza 6 career mode.
Yes.
Loving that. Loving Forza 6. The night racing and the wet weather is just mind-blowingly good.
And I literally just got that 2 hours ago. My partner got it for me for my birthday, so I literally installed it and played. You know, the first few tutorial races where
Yeah.
teach you about your upgrade cards and stuff. So I put about half an hour into it, and the graphics are amazing. It's more Forza, but it's beautiful, and
It's
you
definitely
can't go wrong with a
breathtaking
Forza game, can you? You cannot go
Mm.
wrong with a Forza. Everything's done to perfection on those games.
game. Really,
In Forza, in Forza, is it still? Have they actually fixed it now? Because I know that at one point the Forza games felt more like the background was moving rather than the car.
Yeah,
definitely. I'd agree
yeah,
with that.
yeah. On this one, it looks amazing. I haven't actually tried the night races yet, but apparently the night races and the weather races really add the realism to the game. And what are the crowd like, David? I haven't really noticed the crowd. Are they 2D static cardboard cutouts? Are they quite?
They're 3D now.
They're
I
free.
think from the
Yeah.
demo I played, they're actually 3D.
Yeah, they're a lot more 3D. They're a lot more. If you've played the previous Forza games, you'll recognise upgrades to the the scenery, like say Sebring Raceway, a lot more around the surrounding areas, and it just feels a bit more responsive when you play it as well. It adds more depth to
And
it.
you stream this game quite a lot, David, didn't you? So
Yes.
I'll be adding your Twitch into the description. So I'm going to check out David's stream. He streams every day, most days, doesn't he?
After 7 days a week, yeah.
Yeah. And he's got quite a big following. He's a very good streamer, so be sure to check him out. Okay, I've been dabbling in quite a lot. Like I said, I've played quite a lot of Metal Gear. I've also been playing One Finger Death Punch. Have you guys heard of that?
Great game.
Oh, it's so addictive. It cost me £1 in the Steam sale, and it's literally just you need just 2 mouse buttons, left and right, and it's like a rhythm-based game, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all about timing and rhythm. You get combos and stuff. You got enemies coming from the left, enemies coming from the right, and you just got to click the left and right mouse to hit them in the right time. It's like Guitar Hero hitting the music notes, but it gets really fast and really hard. But that's a really good game. I've got Minecraft Story Mode. I've got that tonight.
Oh god, disgraceful! Absolutely disgraceful.
Well, my sons, they love Minecraft, so basically I bought it for them to play. My oldest son actually finished the whole episode 1 tonight. I've done about 10 minutes of it. Are they ever going to change their engine, Telltale? It's just the same engine.
Oh no! I don't mind the engine. Hell, I think
It's
Telltale
just so
are
dated. The engine's so dated. Of course, Walking Dead Season 1 is free today of Games of Gold.
What do you mean by dated?
It's just the same. It's been the same since Walking Dead Season 1. They've had so many games out and just exactly the same system. Talk and then the occasional button press and
Well, because you have to remember it is a point and click game, and that essentially is what a point and click game is. But with
Life is
Telltale, I
Strange,
think they have aced the engine.
Life
Now-
is Strange done it differently, and I think
I haven't played Life of Strange. I've only played the demo, which was literally just one part of the school, which I thought was really, really good. I'm gonna have to play more.
it's much more interactive. You can do a lot more than just it's not so linear because Telltale games literally. I mean, you can walk around, but you literally get a tiny little box to walk around in. But Life is Strange is a bit more open. But you can this feels a lot more open. But yeah, even you think how the Telltale games they go on mobile, right? And the Xbox One version had really bad frame rate. I noticed of Minecraft, like some of the cutscenes.
How the hell do you have bad frame rate on Minecraft?
I couldn't believe it.
Next gen console, my arse. The flip.
This game is released on iOS and Android. So, shocking how they can't even get the frame rate
Shocking,
right.
jeez, that's shocking's an understatement. That's ridiculous.
But I mean, Minecraft fans will love it. But I just find that whole Telltale engine really boring now and stale. To be honest, maybe other games.
Well, it's a bit like what people have said about Borderlands, though, isn't it? They're getting fed up of the same imagery. They want a slight upgrade at least. But...
Yeah. It's just the same shit, really, isn't it? I mean, they do what they do really well, but they come out. It's like they come out with like 3 or 4 Telltale games a year. It's just like one Assassin's Creed a year is too much. It's the same thing, and 4 Telltale games a year is just too much. That's if you play all of them, of course.
What you got to think is it's more of a animated graphic novel, though.
Yeah.
Just following the story and the experience. It's not actually meant to be, in my opinion, when I played it, it's not meant to be a full-blown game. It's to embrace something, especially The Walking Dead. And going back to what you said about the whole engine and the graphics, The Walking Dead Season 1 to Season 2, it was a lot smoother.
Yeah.
And a lot more, like the frame rate and everything. Everything was so much more better on Season 2.
Yeah.
And the story got better in Season 2 as well. And
yeah. I love Season 2. That one when you play with Clementine. Yeah.
And it got a lot more interactive still. But the way I've always seen them sort of style of games, like Life is Strange, when you were just on about it now, I'm going to be playing that next week on the stream. I've never touched it yet, and I'm really looking forward to that. With The Walking Dead, I understood from the get-go, it's like you're inside the series of Walking Dead instead of playing it. You're just experiencing it like you're a survivor yourself, if you get what I mean. Instead of
you just
playing it.
It's not really a game. You're just taking it in, aren't you? You're embracing yourself in the story and the world. And
yeah,
I think I've just played too many of them because I did do Season 1 and 2. I did do Tales of the Borderlands. Now Minecraft. And I did, and Wolf Among Us. I finished that as well. So I'm just a bit burnt out on the series, to be honest, on the whole structure of the game. But Life is Strange. When you've played that, I think I think you'll find it hard to go back to a Telltale game. You'll have to come back on the pod and let me know your thoughts on Life is
Oh
Strange.
yeah, definitely. Because I'm a Telltale fanboy currently. I mean, I love every game apart from the
See.
Minecraft one, of course, that they've put out. I mean,
I
I
like.
can't really say because one, I'm not 12, and two, I'm really not a big fan of Minecraft at all. But I really hate how they've done it. I hate how Minecraft has a story mode because that's the one thing no matter how much I say I hate Minecraft, the one thing I've admired about it is that there's literally no story. I mean, yeah, you kill the Ender Dragon, but the story is the thing that you make of it. That's the one
Yeah.
thing I've admired Minecraft for. Only for Microsoft to go, ooh, we can make some cheeky money out of this. Hey, Telltale, if we add an extra zero to the end of that, can you make this game within the same year? And they were like, oh yeah, okay, we'll release this, crappy port, and just I hated it.
Yeah, the appeal of Minecraft is just the building, isn't it? It's like
I mean, well, yeah, I mean, some people will like it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Minecraft is a popular thing, and people will enjoy story mode, but it just does not go to me, who someone is a massive fan of Telltale. I think this is absolute bollocks on there.
a cash in, yeah.
A cash in, that's the word I'm looking
Yeah.
Well, can I just put in there? You know, when you're on about it being a cash-in with
Yeah.
like the whole Minecraft thing. Well, one thing I've noticed recently when I were at Eurogamer Expo of a week, I noticed the whole Walking Dead escapists, and I thought that was a cash-in straight away. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's a bit of a
just another game labelled with a title just to sell. Yeah, definitely. I've never
Now,
played
someone
it,
explain it. Is the Escapist the one where you build the prison, or you
no
escape,
escape from it. That's Prison Architect, the building prison one.
Right.
The clue's in the name there, Maver.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just thinking because I heard there was like an escape mode added to Prison Architect, and I can't remember if it was like
No,
yeah,
it's
okay.
a separate one.
The Escapist is quite a popular Twitch game, isn't it?
Yeah, very popular. Very
Yeah.
popular Twitch game.
I've never tried it, but it looks interesting.
So the Escapist Walking Dead exists. How can they make a game about escaping a prison into the Walking Dead?
Basically, what I've looked into, and I had a quick dabble when I were at Birmingham at the event. It's closely knit to the comics again, but
Yeah.
in the game setting of the Escapist, where it's all pixelated, and it's kind of weird because when you think of Escapist, it's all prison. But
Yeah.
Walking Dead stuff. That's why I knew it was going to be. Oh, this is a total cash in. They just wanted a similar style game, but just slap Walking Dead. all over it.
I mean it.
So that's a standalone game,
stand
right?
at all.
It's a standalone game. It's not an add-on. It's just complete.
Yeah, it's a full standalone game. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to talk about the new Xbox experience, the new dashboard,
Experience my ass.
the Windows 10.
Boo!
I'm in the preview program, so
Got
you
nothing but problems with that. Absolute dog, mate.
me and David have both experienced this dashboard, right? And David, what are your general thoughts on the experience so far?
Dog shit.
Interesting.
It's
in a
beta,
way.
baby. You got to remember it is a
is.
beta. It's not.
We are testing it for the masses, basically.
Yeah.
But in a way, it is interesting. But like just before it came into the podcast, we were talking about me and you being into. We don't like change. We're so used to how when we got
Yeah.
that was the dashboard.
Yeah.
Don't
That's how
like
everything was.
change.
And then all of a sudden, instead of going side to side for everything, you have to keep scrolling down, and your pins are right at the bottom.
They're right at the bottom. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And other than that, like the whole getting used to it all, with me streaming off the Xbox One app, it's kind of threw me off where I find everything.
Yeah,
and how
of
I set
course.
everything up and all that. And
Used to doing it all, didn't you?
Mm.
And they said it's a lot faster, but
It's faster. It is
I had
faster.
the old dashboard. I knew they were getting it slower, but that will come in time. I mean, it is faster. Everything loads faster. It's just it's not as fast because I don't know where everything is. So
I can see Xbox going the way of Facebook and the fans reacting the same. Where it's like every year they're going to release a new dashboard, like Facebook would release a new layout.
I hate
All the
Facebook.
fans are going to go, oh, I hate the new layout, and then the following year, oh, I hate the new one. It's crap.
Yeah, it's just getting used to it, isn't it? But I like the party system, the party and friend system. Literally, you just hit left and you're there. Your friends list are there instantly, and you can just press X on any of them to invite them to a party instantly. There's no open up any because the old one, the friends was an app, the party was an app, everything was an app. Everything was an app. You'd have to open up an app for everything, and your friends and your party is just there on the side now. So I love that. It's so buggy though, David, isn't it?
It's ridiculously buggy. Like it says, it's caused my stream to crash a couple of times because You try and like invite somebody into, because I was playing Titanfall earlier, got to
Yeah.
Gen 9 magically, thank God. But trying to invite people into the lobby and everything, it crashed literally twice within the last couple of days
It's
since I've had
ridiculous.
it. Whereas before I've never had my Xbox crash, my games freeze or out. But until I
See.
got this bug, it's just
I'm probably just really angry at it because I was making like a video and I spent a lot of time in it, and I was like, oh, okay, time to add the voiceover. It was about this is probably another topic I can sneak in, but it was about this there's this stupid mobile game that I found on Xbox Live called like Battle Beach or something. Absolute
Yeah.
crap. It's literally a mobile game. It's one of those build then wait 24 hours until your flipping poxy server is made.
or
But
pay
I was making a
$2.
rant video about that, and it crashed as soon as I clicked add voice, and I was like, oh fuck, like that, and I just got so pissed off.
Every time it signs me in already in a game. It's like loads up Minecraft or loads up FIFA or something. It's really weird, and every time like it takes a couple of seconds to register my external hard drive as well, and I keep getting these random notifications pop up saying Twitch app is now ready, like I've just installed it, and I've
See, I can
Yeah, I
I can
hope so.
it's now
understand.
ready. It's like really weird
I
bugs.
can understand. I can understand people saying stuff like, "Oh, but it's in beta still." But from the sounds of these issues that you guys are having, that's the sort of thing that you should have during alpha or stress testing. Like beta is almost their way of saying, "Look, it's finished. We
It's
are only
coming
going to
out.
make minor. They're going to say it's finished. We're only going to make minor changes to this. What do you think?"
Hey mate, it's
And if
out next month to the public. I'm not sure it's ready. I'm
no.
really
I agree.
sure
It's not
ready.
ready.
Not the state it's in now. It's nowhere near ready. David, do you have your writing? Is it like a weird font? Like a weird? It looks foreign almost. All the writing on mine looks like
It looks
Chinese.
Russian. Yeah, it looks Russian. to me.
Russian, yeah. It's really
Oh yeah, my font's screwed up many times.
Yeah, but it's only on the signing bit. Everything
Yeah.
else is fine. It's just signing in. It's like, what? Have I just clicked the wrong language button or something here? It's like, yeah, it did seem very.
You just open it, it's
Swahili.
in Latin, and you're like, whoa.
But it'll get there, and we'll get used to it, and we'll probably love it. But
Yeah.
and we knew what we were getting into because you had to opt in, and it did give you it explained everything to you. You know, it's going to have bugs, and
so,
I still
So-
opted in, so I wasn't bothered.
so what you're saying is when you sign in, that's actually not a real language. It's Microsoft code, and you're agreeing to give your soul to Microsoft for the rest of your life.
Yeah, basically agree.
No one reads the terms and conditions, Toby. That's how they get you.
Yeah, so David, you do realise you've just accepted to buy microtransactions in all the upcoming releases.
Oh yeah, I'm a sucker for him anyway. So that's it. It's got me. Right, should we move on to some news? It's been
Yes.
a relatively quiet week for news. We've got a few snippets here that I'll go through. Nothing too interesting.
Beautiful.
You guys, did you hear about the video games 24/7 website screw up?
Oh yeah.
No.
Did you hear this, mate?
No.
Oh, it's genius.
Like the VG247 website, they had exclusive hands-on time with Uncharted at the is it the Tokyo Game Show? Yeah, and they were playing the Nathan Drake collection, and they published an article thinking they had hands-on with Uncharted 4. They published a full-blown article, and the guy in the article actually said it feels very familiar. Feels like we've done this before.
Oh,
And he was
my.
actually playing Uncharted 2. And he actually deleted the article and they put a new article up.
I hope he got
apologising to everyone.
fired.
He's been getting so much shit over the internet.
You should get shit. How the hell can you confuse Uncharted 4 with bloody Uncharted 2? Oh, this
Not
feels
only
very
that,
He
familiar.
claimed he's an Uncharted veteran. This guy claimed he was an Uncharted veteran, so he should have known it's
A veteran
Uncharted.
with dementia, bloody hell.
Not only that, I'm sure like if you're a company that big,
Yeah.
and surely your staff should only be people who are completely dedicated to video games and can tell the difference between. Surely they'd even know that Uncharted 4 isn't even out yet,
Yeah,
or isn't even close to out.
They'd thought he got,
Yeah, like the Nathan Drake
collection.
collections. Yeah, because the Nathan Drake collection, like you say, is going to be the big release soon.
That's so.
Surely that would be the.
released this year. So that is.
Now, I would happily forgive him if he said, if he stated, this is my first Uncharted game ever. I think it's a good idea to start off Uncharted 4. I wouldn't
Yeah.
really care.
Yeah,
But
he
he
claimed
says
he
he's
was
an
a vet-
Uncharted veteran.
And it was the most iconic Uncharted scene ever, probably. You know, the beginning of Uncharted 2 when you were like the train hanging off the cliff.
Nah, I've never played
Yeah.
Uncharted, mate, so I can't really speak.
That's the thing, though. I've never played Uncharted,
You
and
know-
I still know that scene.
You're like, oh, this feels familiar, you know. Wow, that just made me laugh. It's not big news, but I thought it was funny, so I thought it made 179 million on
Mad.
day one. That's an incredible
See,
amount of money.
I know this is following suit, right? Because I know that we tend to hate on Destiny every single episode.
Yeah.
But Destiny, if they spend 200 million and they did what Metal Gear Solid had done, day one, they've almost made their money back.
Yep. And I'm super happy it's made that money because, like we said earlier, it's a game. People should play this game. I've never played any of the Metal Gears really, and I love this game. So
That's the thing, though. It doesn't matter if you haven't played, finished, or even touched the previous Metal Gear games, because this game. One thing it does that's really smart that I enjoy is rather than trying to cram all of the lore into it, is if you want to know what the story was before and the previous history, is collecting those tapes.
Yeah, you can listen to everything. Yeah,
while you're playing, you can just listen to that previous lore and stuff that's happened, and which I really like.
I haven't bothered with any of it. I just like going around killing people because even it's a stealth game by law. Metal Gear is a stealth game, but I love the way they just give you the player the complete control of the whole world, the whole map, and you do whatever you want. They give you rocket launchers, they give you machine guns, not just silent pistols. It's not like a Hitman game. You can do whatever you want and take any approach. I love that. I really love the freedom of that game, and 179 million in one day. I don't know what it's on now, but I'm sure it's double, treble that. So well done, congratulations.
Just adding on that, didn't they compare it with one of the Marvel films, Day One, and it actually beat Day One sales of one of the
Avengers,
Marvel
wasn't it? I think.
Well, yeah.
It was, and I saw a whole argument break out on Twitter about how it's different. It's not, is it? It's still entertainment. They're both classed as entertainment. Avengers is massive, and to beat that, it's incredible.
Compare it to Marvel and what they've been doing recently, because don't get me wrong, I'm a Marvel fan now after watching all the films back to back. It's just a game that big, and I knew it was going to sell a lot, but to hear it compared to such a big blockbuster film or a series like that, it's mind blowing how gaming's have developed.
It really is. Yeah. You just wonder Kojima's gonna. He said that was his last Metal Gear, and obviously he's left Konami, and obviously Konami are not making AAA games anymore. But is that the end of Metal Gear? Apart from Pez, yeah.
To be fair, I hope that Kojima isn't going to come back and do another one, just because it's like the swan song. That game was amazing, and I don't know if he'd be able to. And without a company like Konami backing him with that kind of money.
Yeah, they just give him endless amounts of cash, didn't they? He's an expensive guy. He's certainly
finances weren't an issue when he's with Konami. I don't want him to create another game and it flop and him almost tarnish the franchise because it's finished on such a high note.
Yeah, well, it's funny. EA was saying that they want to go into the action games more because they're well known for sport games and obviously driving games, but. They were saying this week that they want to focus more on action games. So Kojima, EA have certainly got the capital.
The problem is EA have the money there to do it, but I don't think Kojima would get along with them because he'd end up falling out with them. The same as Debatable, he fell out with Konami. Yeah. Because EA is going to be like, right, now I want you to stick a microtransaction there, I want you to do this, and Kojima's going to be like, no, this is my game, I'm making it, and EA's like, no, we need more microtransactions here, there.
Yeah. Talking about Game Combat, only sold around 5 million copies each. That, for me, is not a lot. I don't know if you play the Arkham Knight.
Not the new one. No, I haven't played the new one.
I think the main problem there is Arkham Knight and Mortal Kombat X both flopped on PC and had, so that's part of it. Mortal Kombat's always had more of a cult following anyway, rather than a big wide-scale audience, because not that many people want beat-em-ups.
The fighting genre is definitely it's got its own kind of fan base, isn't it?
As for Arkham Knight, I think because of that first initial hit, Plus, it didn't release that well for consoles either. Consoles were much more stable, but
Yeah,
it was still a dodgy release for those. So
I think the
it's
season pass pissed a lot of people off as well because
Yeah,
the price and the content they announced.
yeah. I mean, we're not hitting like we're not at the point where we're coming towards a gaming crash, but developers seem to be getting really lazy, and it's not often we're getting decent games anymore.
Yeah, to
Like
be
Metal Gear Solid was a surprise
yeah,
because everything so far, I've got big hopes for what's coming, but everything so far has either been underwhelming or it's not AAA standard.
yeah, certainly. But I loved the Arkham Knight actually. I hated the Batmobile. I thought it was terrible. I mean, it's
See, that's
it's one of
why I
my
didn't
games
like
of the
it.
year, to be honest, because of the story and um, the Joker's performance in that game was amazing.
Mark Hamill's brilliant as the
Mark
Joker.
Hamill was brilliant. I mean, spoiler alert: if you didn't know the Joker was in this game, then what rock have you been hiding under?
Everyone knows the Joker's in the game.
Everyone knows the Joker's in the game.
I think that's the problem I had with the game though was the Batmobile's force fed to you. The whole point of Batman is you're gliding
it
around the
is.
city and you have to use the Batmobile.
A
And
lot
then
of missions require it, and
yeah, and again, the Joker, for those who've followed the game but haven't played Arkham Knight yet without spoiling it, Joker is obviously not going to be a main villain to the game.
yeah,
He is a heavy role in the game, but he overshadows the main villains that you're meant to be fighting.
really well
Because
put.
Joker is the perfect villain for Batman. I
Yeah,
personally think.
And for those of you, as a side note, that haven't checked it out, you guys should all check out a group called Miracle of Sound on YouTube, and look for the song. It's really, really good. That sums up the relationship between Batman and Joker really well.
the Arkham Knight. I mean, you started it pushed the Batmobile on you pretty solid for the tutorial levels in the early games. Then it kind of left it alone for a little bit, and the end was so heavily focused on the Batmobile.
Well, you couldn't even get to the final zone without
Yeah,
the Bat.
ruined it, man.
And it's like, although one of the things that I loved was they've always made this big thing about how Batman doesn't kill people and stuff, even though he has done it in the movies.
Yeah,
But it was just, turning up in the Batmobile, seeing some guys go, "Hey, look, it's the Bat in the tank," and all of a sudden you start blowing the cars up,
just,
and
just
it's you just start murdering everyone.
that one. But I enjoyed that game, and I'm a bit disappointed to see it. I mean, 5 million sounds like a lot, but in terms of game sales for AAA titles, it's really not. Considering Lego Jurassic World sold 4 million, so just think about
But
that.
I think that's because everyone's fed up with the Lego games now.
Yeah, I mean, you would think the Rockstar Batman game would certainly at least double the sales of a Lego game, but not in this case. Right. Halo 5 Guardians, 60 gig,
Boo.
60 gig install.
Bloody
Not
hell.
surprising. They're getting bigger. I was just wondering how these consoles ship with a 500 gig hard drive. I mean, that is shocking.
I've already
that
got
is
games
pretty bad,
uninstalled off to the side.
They must have known games were going to get this big, and were they just being cheap and not giving you a terabyte? I mean, what's a terabyte? Is that really going to cost them much more?
To be fair, mate, I think it's another one of these cash-in moments because all of a sudden, as this is starting to build up, you see, external hard drive, USB 3, 2 terabyte.
Yeah,
Go and buy
yeah.
them and everything. It's like, oh, great. I've got a terabyte added onto mine now, and I'm so glad I did. And I can see it with the amount of, well, what is it? Battlefield, Elder Scrolls Online. About 4 or 5 of my games take up literally 500 gig
Yeah,
on its own. It's
easily.
ridiculous.
Have you got the Master Chief Collection?
Yeah, that as well, yeah.
I've
Well,
yeah,
it's ridiculous.
I've got a I've got a 1 terabyte external.
While
20
we're
gig
on
left.
the subject of storage, while we're on the subject of storage, I was telling David earlier, just before we got onto the pod, one of the guys who used to work with Xbox was given a hands-on download code so he could play the game and try it out and test it and things. And he posted a picture on Twitter of him trying, and it said, "You have insufficient space on your hard drive. Please uninstall a few things and try again." So you think to yourself, okay, not a big deal. The hard drives are kind of limited in size. But when it said the size of the game, it came up as 136,000 gig. And they worked out that you'd need 363 Xbox consoles to try and store a game that size.
Jesus
Out of
Christ.
their minds, thinking that the game was actually going to be that big.
Crazy.
But obviously it's a glitch in the code saying it's that size when it's not. But so many people actually believed it and fell for it because, well, you know what the internet's like now.
Have you?
But I mean,
sorry, go ahead, Toby.
but it makes you think, doesn't it? Where if you look at, say, 10 years ago when DVDs, like dual layer discs, were the thing.
Yeah.
No one could imagine ever using 8.5 gig. And today's standard, a 60 gig game is standard. So if you think, how long is it going to be before we're carrying, I don't know, 300 terabyte thumbsticks?
Oh,
and,
it's crazy, isn't it? I mean, the original Xbox, the arcade version, shipped with a 256 megabyte memory unit, didn't it? And the premium had a 20 gig hard drive. It's just
yeah,
crazy.
well, it's like if you look at PlayStation 2, that came with an 8 meg memory card,
Yeah,
and you could store like 30 games on it.
Oh, if that bastard corrupted, it's the end of the world, mate.
Oh, it was game over there. Jeez.
Those 8 megabytes, they were like.
Well, it's like
so
just
important.
thinking about it as well, obviously on the storage topic. Did you hear in the news recently? I don't believe it's true, but there's a guy who posted a picture of his Famicom still turned on.
Fanny.
Famicom.
Oh.
It's like the Japanese SNES, basically.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And he'd been, I can't remember what game it was exactly, but he said he'd left it switched on for 20 years so he didn't lose his save because the battery had gone in the cartridge.
Absolute balls.
That is crazy.
Yeah, he said because he didn't want to lose the hundreds and hundreds of hours of gameplay because the battery in the cartridge is gone, he hasn't switched the device off for nearly 20 years.
I really doubt that. Like,
Yeah, same.
I know they're built robust, but I
Must have had a
doubt the
power
console
cut in that
would-
20 years on,
That's
it's,
about a power cut. Come on.
Yeah,
yeah, 20
like,
years
there
on, it's
must
just
have
going to
been-
eventually just
Oh, but
degrade the
something
hardware.
Yeah, I mean, after a power cut, even a fuse in the plug going or something, I don't believe it, but a lot of people are getting into it just for going in the cartridge. They're believing that, wow, maybe this guy kept it going for 20 years.
Nah, I call him bullshit.
The hardware would just degrade if it was left on anyway. I mean, it degrades. My NES, you know, it's degrading right now, but like leaving it on for 20 years, that is insane, you know.
Right,
Doubt it.
Battlefront. We discussed the beta last week. I think us who played it enjoyed it, but we weren't going to rush
It's gonna
out
die.
to pre-order or
It's
buy
gonna
it.
die like very
And-
soon and very quickly.
Surprise, surprise! It has a £40 season pass announced. I mean, when I was livid when I heard this news at the
Yeah,
beginning of the
it's-
week.
It's going to go the same way as Evolve as well, and people are going to be spending £85-95 on this game,
Just
and it's
for the-
only going to last 3
Yeah.
months.
I mean, I was really annoyed for some reason, but then thinking back, it's not a surprise. Battlefield had a pass, but I mean, do you think they're going to add space battles? Do you think they stripped that from the main game so they could sell it back in a season pass? Do you think?
Nah, I don't think they're gonna add it in DLC. If it's gone, it's gone.
Well, apparently there's 4 map packs. 4 map packs included, and
The only
season pass owners get content 2 weeks early, and you get a free shoot. But people
the
like
reason
that.
the reason they're saying though that you get it early is just to get people to spend that extra money because you know that the stuff in the season pass is going to be crap.
Yeah.
It always ends up being really underwhelming and nowhere near the value that you pay for these season passes.
I could never
And-
go in and drop 85, 90 quid on a game on a season
No,
pass.
if
day
well,
one.
if you think about it, you like as a player and as a consumer buying a season pass, that's the equivalent of donating to something on like Kickstarter or like crowdfunding for a game. You're paying
Yeah.
for the idea of a game. You're not
Yeah.
getting anything solid.
Yeah.
You know.
And all they've said is 4 map packs. Okay, just maps, game modes, weapons.
Why? I don't know why flipping the big thing with DLC. I mean, remember like when games came out like on the original Xbox, the maps were there, and you know there wasn't obviously any DLC excluding Halo 2 with their map pack thing that was out of nowhere. But every new game, it just feels compelled when WWE for example, perfect thing here. The game isn't even out yet, and they've already announced DLC, and
Yeah.
same for Battlefront. Like, why? Just work on the damn game, put that DLC in the game. It'll make the game last longer. If you're gonna add DLC, but don't flip and tease it before the game's even out. because we
worst
know
thing-
you've cut that content out, and we
Yeah.
know you're flipping making us pay for it.
The
Bullshit.
worst one was Mortal Kombat 10. Before the game had even come out, they're like, buy the Goro pack and you can play as
Yeah.
Goro.
Yeah. And just reading the notes here. At the end of the notes, I've just written "fuck you, EA." I was really peed off when I wrote these
No,
notes.
to
I'm
be
getting peed off at the minute right now.
To be fair, like I know a lot of people have that one company they hate when it comes to the gaming industry, and a lot of people are defending EA, saying they're not as bad as some, like Konami, for example. I think EA is the worst company out there at the moment.
I mean,
There's the amount.
Activision are pretty bad.
To be fair, to me, EA are all of them are, well, 90% of them are responsible for it at the moment. But I find EA really obvious at saying, "Please give us more money. We need more money," when they're one
Yeah.
of the biggest companies there.
Yeah. Well, it's going to sell well if the beta stats are even going to go on, because 9 million people play that, the biggest
Yeah,
in
it's-
EA history. Which,
It's got a Star Wars sticker on it.
yeah, it's the franchise more than the game, and Star Wars does sell, especially with the film
Yeah.
coming up in December. People are all over anything Star Wars related at the moment. But everyone loves Rockstar, right? They started the whole season pass craze in 2011. That was the LA Noir's Rockstar Pass. Was the pass.
Great game though. That was brilliant.
Great
That was
game.
A brilliant game, and to get extra stories and cases on top of that,
Yeah,
that
I
was
love LA
something
Noire, yeah.
that you got into it, and then you thought, oh, there's more cases. I want this DLC.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, I've got 12 maps in a game. I want the extra 12 maps that they should have put into a game down the line.
David, because 12 maps is not enough that's not enough base content for a game anyway, is it?
No,
So
far from it. Far from it.
you'd be alright with it, but 12, you're gonna get bored of those 12 maps pretty soon.
Yeah.
To be fair, with Evolve, they gave you 4 maps and then they shuffled that map slightly. They're like all up in ranges on the other side of the map, but it's still the same one.
Evolve was a piece of shit.
It could have been so much more if they offered more game modes from the start, and if they even offered just a small amount of storyline, even if it stayed multiplayer exclusive. If they just gave you a little bit of story to follow to really explain to you what's going on. Instead, it's just, oh, this is a research facility and some monsters turned up. Why did they turn up? I don't know. Let's just shoot them.
I just found that game. I think once the monster got to level 2, the game was over. And the arenas are so big, and do you know what I mean? The few games I played of it, when you couldn't track the monster down.
See, we never
It
had
just-
an issue, even if the monster was level 3, but that's because I refused to play with anyone but friends. If you were pug queuing it,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
well,
I played with
you're
randoms.
gonna have a bad time.
And we're all separate parts of the map. We weren't going. You need to work together because the classes are
Yeah.
so specific. You need someone to trap it. They need someone to like kill. Shoot it. And
But I
yeah,
remember seeing the trailer for it and thought, holy crap, now this is what I call a good horror game. Because that's what I thought it was when I first saw it, a horror game of
Yeah.
these 4 people being stalked by this massive monster. And I understand how,
Oh, the
they need to
concept
think
is
about
amazing.
game ideas and stuff, but like that seemed really cool, only to get this stupid run to this point before the monster or something. Ugh, dog mate.
yeah, the concept of the game was amazing. A really, really good idea, and just the lack of content again killed it, which is a shame. And the ridiculous prices of the monster prices and the season pass prices, and the day one exclusive pre-order shit stripped from the game, and pre-order from
See-
game you get this, pre-order from Amazon you get this. I hate all that shit.
I remember looking at I watched Angry Joe's review of it. I'd already got the game by that point, but I watched his review, and he said he bought the pack where all the characters and all the monsters were already unlocked.
Yeah,
And he
I'd
said
say,
that
like,
cut so
8
much
quid, didn't
game.
he?
Yeah, he said that
Uh,
cut so much game time out for him because he didn't
Yeah.
have anything to work for.
Yeah,
What's the point of that? It's like buying like the Battlefield only to see the campaign has already been completed, all weapons have been unlocked, you're the max level, and that's because you paid an extra 20.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did with Evolve. And he said that he bought it because obviously he's reviewing it, so he gets the whole lot.
yeah.
He wants to be able to experience all of it. But he said it ruined the game for him because he had nothing. Okay, yeah, cool. I killed that monster. What do I get for it? Nothing, because I already bought it all at the start.
Wow, Evolve, that's definitely I think we're going to do our in a few episodes' time. We're going to do our game of the year so far, just before Fallout comes out. I think Evolved will be on the disappointment list, so we'll definitely discuss more on that show. Friday the 13th. Someone's making a game for it. It's on Kickstarter.
Yes.
I'm not. I've got to. Before people get excited, I've got to tear this down.
You what, Toby?
This is
Wanna go,
this is
mate?
the
Wanna
Wanna go?
that loves
No,
Friday.
This is
One
the
of
game.
the things
This
I
is the
love.
game.
Right, I love I love the movies, but I don't know how concrete it is. But the article I was reading when I come across this, and they involve the trailer, is this is going to be another episodic adventure.
Yeah.
What? From my understanding of it, I thought it was going to be a multiplayer game where one person plays Jason.
Yeah,
No,
that's what I got
it's-
told.
Yeah, there is. I thought it was a multiplayer game.
I thought it was that.
read the same thing as you guys.
See, the article I read it on. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, obviously it's still only early and stuff, but from the article I read, it seemed like it was going to be another Telltale style.
Now I
You're going to get an
think that was
episode here
before-
and there.
Because I swear Friday the 13th for the game, I saw a trailer for it. It was before it was called Friday the 13th, before it got that license. I swear I remember reading something like that.
Oh, so it's a game that's just been reskinned with the
It's been reskinned, but I am looking forward to it because I love Friday the 13th. I love all the old 80s horror movies. And to get the feeling of, one person playing as Jason, it's a dream come true for me because the closest thing we've got to a Friday the 13th game is flipping Friday the 13th on the NES. And
you love that game.
I love that game, but I
This
want this new one. I want it now.
this isn't going to be a full price game, right?
Nah, I think it's like $15.99, which I would happily
Yeah.
pay for a game like this.
Hey, if you get a few hours fun out of it for that price, then hey, I'm all for it.
Plus, I really hope it would get there, purely for the fact that, again, I'm one of those people that hates the idea of donating on Kickstarter to stuff, because, again, like I said before, you're literally paying for the idea of a game. You're not guaranteeing it.
Nothing concrete. It's just you're buying into this idea that it's going to be something great, and there's no
Yeah, because
guarantee.
did you hear about, I can't remember what the game was, but it's quite a famous development story where the guy he originally asked for 3 million, I think, and he ended up making 5.5. Then he realized that actually making a game to the standard he wanted to was actually a lot more expensive than he thought. So
Yeah.
he asked for another 5 million and ended up bringing in 10. He's giving lots of news updates, lots of development stories, and so on. Until one day they went really quiet, and all of a sudden the company started liquidating stuff, and people started getting kicked, fired, and a few disgruntled employees ended up proving who they were and sold the story to a news article group. And they found out that all this money was actually going to him buying a new car and mansion and house.
But,
and-
Oh my
but for the
god!
guy, does he really care? He's rich now. Bugger everyone else.
And that's the
I've
thing.
got the money.
It's with
And you've
Kickstarter.
got people that think this game is going to be amazing, and they're donating up into the hundreds, maybe even thousands, because they
As much
really
as I
want this
support the
game.
Friday the 13th game, I've never donated on Kickstarter. I don't intend to because I know there's some greedy bastard up there who's just going to go, "Ooh, look at this free money."
I mean,
You know,
is
I
there
don't-
any comeback on Kickstarter if the project fails? Do you get your money back or
No,
that's
no.
it?
Once you've given
No.
off that money, you've given off that money. That's
There's
it.
an option which the user who creates the Kickstarter can tick, saying that if he cancels the project, he still keeps the money.
Wowzers! Talking about the Xbox One dashboard, I've just put in a brand new disc of Forza, and it said disc is unreadable. Fantastic.
Off to a good start then.
Anyways, we are on the hour mark, guys. So should we wrap things up tonight? It's going to be a bit of a shorter episode tonight. I know Toby's got a date of a bottle of Russian vodka. Is that right, Toby?
Polish.
Oh, well,
Polish.
same thing. I just want to thank Davey for coming on the pod tonight. It's been great having you, mate, and you're welcome back anytime.
Well, it's been a pleasure to be here, and I must say, I am more than happy to come back, and it's been a bit of a laugh. It's
It has
nice
been.
to actually meet you guys and get to
Yeah.
know you better.
And obviously, check out gamerforlife.co.uk. I will put everything you need in the description. And
just quickly adding to that, I'd not heard of Gamer for Life until a few weeks ago when David Stratton mentioned it, and ever since seeing it, it's a great place to pick up news and stuff. It's now
Really?
found its
Oh, it
way
is.
into
The
my
articles are very well done.
it's really,
it's-
I mean, the website's so clean and fresh, isn't it? And easy to navigate.
It almost immediately found its way into my general list of where I get my
Yeah.
news updates and feeds and stuff. So it's definitely worth checking it out to any of the viewers watching this.
And Halloween episode. Great laugh.
I love
mean,
Halloween.
I love scary games, and
I
in-
just want to say,
yeah.
you know, like if we're ending around here, I just want to say I'm very happy with everything that's been going on the pod. I just want to say thank you to all the fans. You know, I mean, this pod's we've got to episode 4 now. That doesn't sound like a lot, but
I'm
that is
surprised.
a lot.
Yeah,
That is a lot. You know, and we've managed to get fans. Our Facebook page has got a lot of likes. We've got a first special guest in here. We've got, like, you know, people following us. We've got people tweeting and stuff. And we just want to say thanks altogether, you know.
I mean, they're averaging about 80, 90 views, the videos on YouTube, which is pretty good for a podcast of nobodies just starting out. Do you know what I mean? That's
Well, yeah, exactly.
pretty good.
So,
And if there's anything people want to ask us, don't forget to message us on any of the social media that will be mentioned in the comments box below
That's
as well.
definitely something I'm trying to push as a Q&A section. You know, any questions for us, drop them in the comments, tweet us on Twitter, the Facebook page. Just let us.
before you round off, I think it's time for that special section of the podcast where we talk about what we're working on. Because I thought that was pretty good. So, David, do you want to go first, Mr. Stratton?
Yes, I'm working on nothing at the moment. I've had a bit of a. I've been playing too many games this week. I haven't actually recorded any footage for videos on YouTube. But obviously, I've got my father and son episodes. We're going to do episode 2, hopefully this week.
Actual Battletoads this time.
We're going to finish Battletoads.
Get it.
And my noob play series. I'm going to do some Battlefield Hardline.
Yes.
And that is it for me, really. Just concentrating on the pod, getting people in. Trying to make some decent ties with, obviously, sites like Gamer for Life and It's Gameplay. That's another site we're friends with. So hopefully we'll get in from there.
Mr. David Pass, what about you? Have you been working on anything recently?
Basically, with Gamer for Life, I just want to add in there about, you mentioned Gameplay. They're actually our partners in the Gamer for Life network now. We are officially call ourselves a network. We have got them as our like cornerstone page.
Fantastic.
With G4L as like brother and sister pages. So
Yeah.
we're working on the next year to just build everything up that little bit better and just go from there. See where we can go.
Hopefully we
Excellent.
can call ourselves friends of you as well now. We
Oh,
are.
definitely. I'll be honest with you. After watching the first couple of episodes, and when you came to me and asked me if I would like to be a guest, I took that straight away. Went, yeah, brilliant. I love listening to you guys. It's been funny watching you before, and it's been great being in here. I've loved it.
Fantastic. I'm really happy to hear that.
Excellent. And
all
Monsieur
positive.
Toby Barstow, have you been working on anything recently?
At the moment, because we're sort of in more of a lull for what I'm interested in at the moment, so I don't really want to keep making videos of the same stuff and boring people. So at the moment, I'm just toying around with how to lay things out and how to set stuff up. So it's more of a practice ready for the new year, because I think as soon as January hits is when I'm going to start more focusing on the videos and stuff. At the moment, I'm quite happy focusing on the pod and trying to help as possible so we can make an awesome show for everybody.
Awesome.
And we're definitely on track for that, I think.
Indeed.
It's improving week by week. And
Yeah, looking at episode 1 and then comparing it to last week's episode.
Well, exactly. Well, I
It's
think
building
today-
momentum so quickly.
Today's pod's been brilliant. I think it's been the best one since.
And I think we're going to try and keep it at this length weekly, because I don't think many people will want to sit there for 2 hours. It is a long time, and I know
1 hour's perfect. I
we
think.
get a bit carried away sometimes, don't we? And I think an hour pod is about right. I mean, we're at an hour 5 at the moment, so an hour 5:10 is fine. I think we can definitely. I think that's where we should be leaving these pods, because
Sweet.
you don't want people to get fed up. So again, a big thanks to Davey for coming on, and Toby and Maver.
Yes.
And we will be back next week for a Halloween special.
Another Halloween special.
A Halloween special. I thought
Bloody
we'll
hell.
do it next week, so people will have a chance to hear it before Halloween instead of
yes.
after Halloween. Do you know what I mean?
Awesome.
So yeah,
Get them Halloween topics written. Remember, if you have any questions, do feel free to ask below. Q&A for the win, mate.
And if people feel any games need honourable mentions, then do let us know as well.
yeah.
Jaws for NES, I believe, has not been mentioned at all.
I think we're gonna go now. Bye.
I mean, it's a brilliant game.
Bye.